start to streaming. Start believing, start believing.
Oh, there went my phone to tell me that we're on.
Did it go?
Yeah, I just heard it go zzz.
Zizzy?
Zzz.
Zizzy? Then why is it not there?
I don't know. Give it a second. There we go.
Maybe we need to refresh.
Maybe.
Yep.
There we are.
Needed to refresh. We're fresh and so fresh.
Hey
Exciting.
guys. Sorry, Teresa. Really? Why are you being so silly?
I do my sugar today.
Oh, God. I have to put a muzzle on you. I see you too. Hey, look who sees your hat.
Who?
Right at the top.
I didn't. What did she say?
Looking good. Hey, Phil.
Hi, Phil. Hi, everybody. Hi, I wear aprons. Hi, Ninja Rain.
Stephanie.
Teresa.
Like you all drove to my back door. What? I thought she was in West Virginia.
Hi, Destiny.
Teresa, where are you?
Well, when we were over at Jano's house, we were pretty close to West Virginia.
I didn't think we were that close.
Y'all glad to be home?
There's something to be said, and we talked about this, is there's something to be said about sleeping in your own bed. Even though, I will say, of all the places I've ever been, Brad and Krista are great hostesses.
Did you stir my stuff?
No. Hosts and hostesses. Is it a J?
No, it's not a... This came from Australia. Queensland.
Alright, let's see. Teresa, there were a couple of... Yeah, I know. Well, look, guys, here's the thing you have to understand. We're pretty big about trying to fly under the radar because where we live, we kind of... Oh, Ironton. Okay. Gotcha.
Where's Ironton?
We were getting ready to go through. I think we went through it, or we were gonna go through it when we were going to J. Knowles. But here's the thing, guys. We didn't want to like broadcast it to everybody that we weren't home because we had a lot of things here that we really, you know, didn't want.
Speaking of, where is Felicia and them?
I don't know. Something to be said about sleeping in your own bed. Usually there are cuss words and several conversations involving, dang it, dog, go sleep on the couch.
Do you have a video camera in our room?
Because that's exactly what our room is like.
Yep.
So.
Apollo!
Hey, Trudy.
Well, it's not really 9 o'clock yet.
No, it's not, is it?
No, so.
Yeah, Jano lives outside. Oh, no. Sorry to hear about that, Teresa.
Sorry to hear about that, Teresa.
Teresa said she had one, but
Teresa said she had a hat like that and could not. Got stolen. Hey, can y'all see our new lower third? Is that good to go for y'all, or do we need to change it up?
Probably need to change the color of the script, but it's okay. Troy Reed hat. No, it's an Australian. Yes, Farmer Meemaw, that's...
Yes, Farmer Meemaw. I'm going to be putting a video out about that tomorrow, so don't ruin the surprise.
Oh, 150-pound Bull Mastiff and 2 80-pound German Shepherds. What do we think of Cousin Ricky? You talking about Ricky Wallace? Yeah.
Paula was like,
He he traveled, I'll tell you.
He traveled.
He traveled really, really well.
Thank you, Kathy.
He traveled pretty well. But he did really, really...
Thank you, Loaded Sink.
He did really, really well, at Brad and Krista's. But he's so used to being underfoot with us that he had to kind of adjust a little bit. So anyway.
Thanks, Amanda's Garden.
Nice.
Yeah, I've been spending most of the afternoon trying to figure out what's going to be a good color for it down there. And I tried just about all of them, and I got frustrated with it and left it with that one. Mama said she liked it, so. Because we all know ain't Mama happy, ain't nobody
Well, the
happy.
problem is that we never wear the exact same thing each time.
I know.
So it's going to be a little bit different. Nova Scotia. Yeah, we're glad we're home. Hope, I'll catch up with you later. Don't worry.
Hope, if you need to, you come here.
Alright. Now, if that's got exclamation points, does that mean that that's Nicole?
I think that might be... Ooh, I don't know if I can call her Smiley or Sharkbait anymore. I might have to call her Smiley.
You might. You might.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hope. Put a background behind it.
I don't know if you can.
You probably can.
I don't know.
Yeah, I figured it was Nicole. I'm glad. Yeah. Like, just something. We can do that. We'll play with it.
We'll play with it some more.
Okay. Couple more minutes.
Did Felicia have to work tonight?
Mm-mm.
I mean it, Hope. You need it. You guys come here.
Yeah, I don't know if y'all saw.
Hi, Felicia! It's Felicia. How you doing, Felicia? Sherry Cherry.
Hey, the Sherry.
James Cherry.
Mm-hmm.
James called me fat today. He called me fat in Spanish.
All right. Yeah, Teresa is closer.
No, I want them to come here.
Chit.
I am so happy for Nicole. You miss me, Felicia? Where's the professor?
I don't know.
James was like, I did not.
So, I have to show you. I don't know. Will this
All right. Grandma got to go home today after spending a month in the hospital. That's awesome sauce. Way to go, JS Farms.
So, I have to show you a cute picture real quick. Y'all watch his face.
When did you get that?
About an hour ago. Wayne, what's up?
That's my Pookie.
Can I bring my hippo-sized dog?
Yep, bring it.
Oh.
Bring it. Wayne. So, y'all, I finally got to meet old Wayne face to face. And he's just as ugly in person as he is on the YouTube.
Oh, look, Jordan's here.
Okay, can you put the Why are you messing with that?
Because I saw a bunch of people saying hi, and I'm checking it out.
Hi, Krista.
There's Krista, too. Yay. There are now 2 members of the Cool Hat Club.
I'm the president.
All right.
So we got Felicia and the president. Hey, where's Seagulls at? Poke your knees. Hey, Krista, is my Ruthie around?
All right. Good night, Nick.
Night, Nicky Nick.
Don't listen to him. And he got a haircut.
All right, just let us know, Hope.
Good night, Hope.
That was good, Palmetto Pooper Scooper. Hey, Mama, where's the professor?
Probably sleeping. Hey, Brenda.
There's a major difference, Wayne. No Adam's apple.
Stop. That's not nice. She's in bed where all young children should be.
All right, good night, folks. There he is. There's the professor. Okay, can I do it now?
Yeah.
You know they're itching for it. Let me get situated in the chair here.
Really?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the Homestead Network is proud to bring to you the live stream champions of the world. I'm the big bear. She's the mama bear. And we are the Big Bear Homestead.
Everybody's like turning down volume. Cover your ears, lower your volume, take out your earbuds.
How many of y'all missed that? Let's see a show of hands. Show of hands. Let me see how many of y'all missed that.
James, the professor, is always Steve. Forgot to turn down the sound. He's like a diva getting ready for his show.
I'm too sexy for this. Oh, I got a secret.
You have a secret?
I got a secret about Brad.
I don't know if I like where this is going.
Y'all know how Brad was a rock star, right?
Good one, Wayne. That was funny. Sorry, that was funny. Anyway, go ahead. Claire said tell.
Claire, you know.
Go ahead.
Brad sings show tunes loud when he's in the shower.
Yes, he does. He does sing pretty loud in the shower.
We heard him all the way out in the living room. If I was a rich man, rich man.
Well, now, the not so funny, just factoid about that is that, I don't know how many of y'all know, but his throat gets really sore really quick. And so, basically, he does that in the morning with the steam to kind of loosen everything up so that he doesn't hurt himself while he's going throughout his day. So.
But I tell you what, the boy got some pipes.
Yeah.
Ain't even gonna lie.
Yeah.
The boy got some pipes.
Definitely does.
Yep. But we're gonna talk all about this on our live stream on Saturday.
Video where it didn't have it. You're a liar. Not a liar. We heard him singing. Okay.
Okay, so we'll talk more about this.
Hey, Maria's here. Yeah, I think we're going to end up with the same thing with the rain. I don't think it's going to hit us as much as it... Please don't video Brad in the shower.
But you know, the whole week I was up there.
Oh.
Brad is like a half an inch, like a 16th of an inch taller than me. I mean, very little. And he would call me a hobbit the whole time. And so we went over to J Knowles, and he stood beside J Knowles, and I went, Brad, who's the hobbit now?
Yeah, J Knowles is a pretty hefty dude. He's pretty big. So, yeah. Okay. All right, so you guys have all been asking me to do some blends. And so I figured what we could do this time around is talk about...
Keep it up, Felicia.
Talk about cold and flu season, because we're getting ready to go right into that season. Everybody's... not everybody, but some people are out getting their flu vaccinations and, you know, getting used to the colder weather, and people are starting to get the sniffles and the sore throats and drainage and all that stuff. And it kind of hit home with us because last night into this morning, Carol actually is not feeling well. She has had some drainage and she's coughing and she's got a low-grade fever. So basically what I wanted to do was talk to you guys about not just what you can do when you already have a cold or a flu, but some of the preventative things that you can do to kind of help with this cold and flu season to make it out on the other side. All right. So, first things first. Cole, you leave her alone.
Hey, Felicia, winning.
Okay, so so basically, I can't believe you did that. That was not nice. Okay, so the first thing I wanted to talk about.
Enjoy those 300 seconds, Felicia.
Is with a cold, you know, with the cold symptoms, you can have a sore throat, cough, congestion, sneezing, low-grade fever, some slight body aches or some headache, things like that. But obviously with a flu, those symptoms kind of get a lot worse. You can end up with, and it's not as much with cough and congestion, but you will definitely have,
the professor has
pharyngitis.
Well, that sounds unfair.
So you can end up with respiratory issues, and actually a cold is really just a respiratory tract infection. Now, the thing with a flu, and I don't know how many people know this, with a cold can be hundreds of different illnesses that float around in the air and you get sick from. With a flu, there's only three. There's three influenza viruses. There's type A, B, and C. Type A and B cause large seasonal outbreaks, and those are what you, or you don't, take flu vaccinations for. So flu vaccinations are devised to address type A and type B influenza. Now type C is the one that causes mild respiratory illnesses, and up till now there's no immunization for type C. But of course, most of us here don't really care about that because we're not taking the immunizations anyway.
Because we only have one speed. Go.
So what?
Nothing.
Okay. So basically, the things that I want you to keep in mind are with this season, what we have now, here are a few preventative things that.
Hold on a second. Terry Johnson, refresh. Okay.
Yeah, everybody's telling them. So a few things you can keep in mind. One is that viruses will live longer indoors in the winter because the air is less humid than outside. And then another thing to think about is that while viruses are alive in the air, they can easily be inhaled, or they can land on your eyes, nose, mouth, and those are the things that, that's how you can catch the flu. And then also, in the wintertime, people tend to spend more time inside, and they're in close contact with others, so it makes it easier for those viruses to spread. So keeping all that in mind, here are some preventative things that you can do to kind of minimize that. One is, and this is just a general thing, this isn't really essential oils, but temperature in your house. If you have it really warm in your house, it's like a petri dish. Your flu shot required. Whew. It's like you have a petri dish in your house. You're just making the environment perfect for all of those bacteria and everything to grow. So you really don't want that. Number two, you want to be able to kind of get rid of the bacteria and stuff that is in your house. Some people go crazy, and up till a couple years ago, we used to go absolutely insane with Lysol in our house. We would spray down phones, we would spray down the handles or doors, anything that would come into contact with hands, mouth, all the handles in our kitchen, all of that stuff. And so those are two things that we could think of. Also, like Palmetto's saying, go outside. Go outside, get some fresh air. Expose yourself to being outside. There's no reason to be cooped up inside all the time, all winter. Get yourself some nice warm gear. Get out and get into to where you can kind of kill off any of that bacteria that's going on. So with all that in mind, like I said, we used to do Lysol with everything. We would kill every bacteria we could think of by just spraying anything on a contact surface. Well, the problem with that is that what about the people that are coughing and hacking? You have somebody come over and they cough or they hack, then you've got it everywhere, and you can't always get everything. So one thing I really like about the essential oils is you can diffuse essential oils into the air to kill some of the bacteria that's just floating around. So that's pretty cool. Another thing is, like people were saying, open up your windows occasionally. Drop the temperature, shock the air a little bit so that you can kind of, not let all of the bacteria continue to grow in your house. You start to shock the system of the house and kill everything off, or at least slow the growth of stuff. Now, as far as oils go, you can, Steve's funny, when they come in, spray them and put a mask on them. I wish we could do that, but, that's not really being a good host.
But let me interrupt here.
Tell them to stay away.
Hey, is Krista, are you still in here? keep going. I don't know if they want us to talk about that.
Anyway, so as far as preventative oils go, there's a lot of different oils you can use to diffuse in the air, or you can put in a spray bottle to kind of spray on things to kill germs. A couple of them we have not covered yet. So you can do bergamot, which we will be covering pretty soon, Roman chamomile, but then, and sandalwood.
What's
and
up,
myrrh.
Barry? Empty hammock in the house.
But you can also use some of the ones that we've talked about: lavender, lemon, melaleuca or tea tree, whichever way you call it, thyme, and vetiver. All of those are good for helping to stimulate your immune system, but also to kill their antibacterial. They'll help if it's diffused in the air. Yes, Teresa, that's a good practice. Wash your hands. Brenda's saying sneeze into your sleeve. That's we taught that too when I was teaching school. We used to call it a chicken wing. That you would have to cough into your chicken wing. Now, as far as, now I don't know about a lot of y'all, but when I used to work in fast food, it's a very stressful situation. So one thing that helps, if you're stressed out, hey, Brandy, and this is perfect because Brandy is actually fighting being sick right now. And so I'd be interested to hear what kind of symptoms she's had and see if we can put some of our stuff to use to see if we can help her. Okay. So let's see. So when you're dealing with stress, some of the additional oils that you can use that are also immunostimulants would be geranium, rosemary, and then the lavender and the tea tree. They work really good with that. And then as far as blends go, you can use Purify or a purification blend. On Guard, which is the protective blend. Most people know it as thieves oil. The only difference between the protective blend and the thieves oil is thieves oil has lemon and the protective blend has wild orange. They're both citruses. They both have a high vitamin C. So, and then the last one is Breathe. Now, the reason why Breathe is really good is because it is a respiratory blend and it helps to fight with these respiratory infections, which is basically what a cold is. So it helps with that. All right. Now, some of the symptoms that come with cough, cold, flu, a big one is congestion. A lot of people, Fees oil. One of the big things that both a cold and even the flu can have is congestion. And some of the oils that are really good for that, first one being melaleuca. It's antimicrobial and antiseptic. It's good to place on your neck and chest. It has a really, the smell is good for inhaling to help clear up your nasal passage. Another one, obviously, we've talked about this one as well, is eucalyptus. It's antibacterial. It's also antispasmodic to help with the coughing. It's antiseptic, analgesic for pain, and it's also mucolytic, meaning that it reduces phlegm.
Long butter.
Yeah, she's not in here. Okay. Another one is peppermint. Peppermint is anti-inflammatory and it has a lot of the same properties as eucalyptus. It's also an expectorant, an astringent, and a sedative. So it will help you to kind of calm down and relax as well. Melaleuca is good for bug bites. Melaleuca is good on just about anything having to do with the skin. What can be used on young babies? Not really much of anything. They don't recommend you using essential oils, because of how potent and concentrated they are, you don't really want to use them on young babies. This is where I recommend doing diffusing, because what it's going to do is help kill the bacteria in the air without exposing the child directly, like direct contact to the oils. Yeah, and that's a good point, Palmetto. With the peppermint oil will definitely open up your nasal passage. If you have a runny nose or a stuffy nose, you can put, hey, candy? Now, the only thing, though, Palmetto, when you put it on your lip, that stuff is potent. It kind of tingles and almost burns a little, doesn't it, honey? Peppermint.
Mm.
Yeah, you do. You accidentally put some in your coffee one time.
Welcome back, Hope.
Yes, Donna, breathe is good for cold season. It will burn your eyes. That's right, Palmetto. I'll talk about breathe in just a minute. I'm going to tell you what kind of oils are in that respiratory blend and why they're good for that. The next one is lavender. Lavender is a very powerful antibacterial and antimicrobial. Oregano, this is the one we've talked about before. Oregano is antimicrobial, antibacterial, antiseptic, and it helps relieve phlegm and mucus. As far as oregano, I like to take a carrier oil. It is a hot oil. We've talked about that several times. But you would take oregano and put it with a carrier oil, and then if you rub that on your feet, you can you can put that on your feet, and it'll actually help with with your immune system. Tammy's saying eucalyptus oil works on babies. Just be sure to dilute it. Right, you can, but for all intents and purposes of me recommending stuff, Tammy, I would rather be safe than sorry. You have to be very, very careful with how potent these oils are. So like you said, you would have to really, really, really wear it down a little bit before you could put it, before you just don't want to put it on directly topically onto the child. I would definitely recommend diffusing before I would put it on the child. Okay, let's see. As far as lemon, that's another one. A good blend is lemon, rosemary, and eucalyptus. You put those together, and that's a very, very powerful concoction for during the flu season. Lemon is antibacterial, antiseptic, and anti-inflammatory, which is good for if you've got aches and pains and things like that. But one thing to be very careful with, lemon is phototoxic, meaning that if you put it on, when you put it on and rub it on your skin, you have to be very careful going outside, because you can get sunburned from it. So you got to be really careful with that. But lemon does stimulate and improve the body's defense against bacterial infections. So it's definitely one to keep in your medicine cabinet or your oils cabinet.
Has some clary sage oregano fun for 300 seconds.
What diffuser do you recommend? Okay, so I'm not really going to recommend a diffuser. The only thing I will say is we have used ones in the past that are just the ones you put a tea lamp in, or a tea candle, whatever they're called, tea light, and it heats up the oil and diffuses it. But I would say that the best thing to do is to get a cold air diffuser, because the cold air diffuser, you don't want to heat up the oils too much that it kills any of the properties that the oils have. So you got to be careful with that. Empty hammock, I just wrote it down. I know we had talked about it, but I couldn't remember the name of it. So I'm going to look it up, and I will get back to you. I'm going to email you about that.
Have you sent us an email with your address yet, Empty Hammock?
I don't think so.
Silence of the bears.
Okay. All right. Now the last one is rosemary. Rosemary is antimicrobial and antiseptic, but if you're epileptic or you have high blood pressure, you want to stay away from this oil. Thyme is also a really good one, but if you're hypertensive, you don't want to use that one. A good mixture that includes thyme is if you do lemon, tea tree, eucalyptus, and thyme, put it in a hot bath, and all of those working together will definitely open up your airways for congestion. They'll also help to relax you. So these are all, that's a really good mix to have in a bathtub.
But not oregano.
Not oregano. No, you didn't hear oregano, did you? Lemon, tea tree, eucalyptus, thyme.
I'm allergic to sage. Is this the same thing?
What do you mean sage? Which oil were you talking about?
It was for the third
The
time.
sage oil, there's clary sage. That's what oil? Which one are you talking about that you're allergic to? I mean, I'm kind of confused.
Teresa Dean hooked you up.
Yeah, I don't understand what high blood pressure. Stay away from rosemary. Okay. Now for sore throat, there's a couple of things you can do for sore throat. Peppermint is a good oil because it's soothing and it's got a cooling because of the menthol kind of effect. It's going to soothe and cool your throat. The
clary
blend.
sage.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, and clary sage is not really one of the ones that we're going to be using for this, but as far as regular sage, I don't know. I think it is. I could look into it. Teresa's obviously, it seems like she's already done the work behind that, but we can check on that, Susan, and make sure. And Rain is in here. Is she still in timeout?
I think so.
She may be able to chime in on this because of the flower that it comes from versus, she may be able to give me a little bit of background on that if that's going to be have some of the same properties.
Thanks, Bandana Grandma.
Okay. So we know peppermint soothing, cooling, so that's really good for a cough. For a sore throat, I'm sorry. Lemon is also really good. It helps to cleanse toxins and stimulate lymph drainage. So that is definitely one to keep in mind. And it's also high in vitamin C. And there you go. Thank you. Thank you, Teresa. The lemon also increases salivation, so it'll help you to produce more spit. So that's going to help soothe the throat
you say that name?
a little bit. Which one? Alicia?
That's Alicia.
Uh-huh.
Hi, Alicia.
Say bye, Felicia. Okay.
You know what I'm going to do?
What are you going to do?
I need to do this.
Okay. Okay, so another one, obviously, eucalyptus is a big one. Whoa. What happened there?
Sherry, I just made you a moderator, so please refresh for full moderator powers.
Okay, so Tracy, that's what I was getting ready to say. I did laugh out loud. I knew I was poking the bear. Eucalyptus is also really good for sore throat. It stimulates immunity and it helps provide respiratory circulation, so it's helping with all of that to loosen everything up, move everything around. So it's going to help.
Got it, Empty Hammock.
Let's see. Now, oregano is also really good for sore throat because it is it's extremely powerful. It's been known to actually kill MRSA. So all of that gunk and yuck that's going and causing your throat to be sore, those are things that, you kind of want to keep oregano in your toolbox to help with that. This is about to be bad. Thank you, Ginger Rose. I appreciate that. Okay. Clove we just talked about the other day. Clove will actually purify the blood and increase resistance to a ton of diseases. So that is definitely one to keep around. Clove has so many. We just talked about this last week. Clove is really... I'm back, you petulant boy.
Hi, Felicia.
Uh-oh. So how do you use the oregano, Jason? Stop. How do you use oregano, Jason?
Very carefully.
Do you put it in a bathtub, Jason?
No, you don't put it in the bathtub.
Do you put it under your armpit, Jason?
No, you don't.
Okay. You see, he can't put me in timeout. Do you gargle with them? And if so, just with water. Okay, so yes, you can. No, I didn't. Susan. SACOIDIOS. I'm gonna have to look at that one. Yeah, on his armpits. You're on my... You're now on my hit list, but please don't time me out again. Okay.
That's like saying, I'm going to slap you, but don't slap me back.
So the great thing about clove oils, the great thing about clove oil and also peppermint is, no. Robyn is winning. The great thing with clove and peppermint is if you gargle with those and then kind of make sure you kind of get it back in your throat real good, it will, if your throat is really sore, it will help to what's the word I'm looking for? To make it where you can't feel it. Numb it. It'll numb it.
Then you'll be talking like Nicole.
Yeah,
I can't pee my pee.
Now, another one, we talked about thyme. Juniper berry. Juniper berry is a really strong antioxidant, antibacterial, and antifungal. So, again, it's another one that's good for sore throat. You can definitely gargle with that. Now, one thing they do recommend, if you're going to do the juniper berry, you can do 3 drops of juniper berry and 3 drops of clove. Put it in some boiling water, put it in a bowl, and then put your head over the steam and cover yourself with a towel and allow all of that to keep, that steam inhalation will definitely help kind of kill everything and also loosen everything up, and it'll be very soothing to your throat. As far as fever goes, so with fever, there's a couple that are really good for fever. Obviously, the first one is peppermint, and this is a good one to use on, and I don't want to say very young kids, but like my 9-year-old, my 10, almost 11-year-old, those I have no problem taking and putting those on their back or on their feet to kind of help.
What are you talking about?
I don't know.
Felicia, you a psycho wiener.
Stop! What resources are resourcing? What does that mean?
I don't know.
All right. So another one is eucalyptus and lavender. If you take those two and put them together, the eucalyptus has a cooling effect and the lavender has a calming effect. So you take those two, mix them together and apply topically, and those help with the fever as well. Another one is lemongrass. And this is a funny one. I did not know this. I gave it to Krista over at Go for Green. I was talking to her about lemongrass and lavender. And instead of the eucalyptus, she used the lemongrass, but she was using it for pain. But she didn't realize that it also would bring down a fever. And I think it was her grandmother, her grandmother had a fever at the same time that she was not feeling well from I guess she had some kind of pain in her leg. Wait, why? Why do you need to do that? Okay, so with the lemongrass, it is an anti-inflammatory, so it helps with body pains and aches and things like that. You better get Teresa too. You're not going to punish one and not the other. So with the lemongrass, it's anti-inflammatory, so it helps with any kind of pain that you're having. So body aches, headache, things like that from the flu or from a cold. Lemongrass works great. But the other thing is and here's another one of those fancy words, antipyretic. And that really just means it's anti-fever. It will bring a fever down. It has that property. So it's definitely another one. And that's the great thing, is that some of these guys, a lot of these oils that I'm telling you about, they're lower. They're not really expensive. It's nice to have all of these, put them up, and keep them because they don't cost a whole lot. And you can add them to your... Where's your hat, Mr. Jason?
It's in there with my hunting stuff. I'm gonna wear that hunting that hat I got from Felicia. I'm gonna wear it hunting to keep me warm.
Okay. What can I give Jason for the burpees? That is, and we use that. Let me tell you, we used that a lot. Good night, Brandy.
Hope you feel better, Brandy.
We used
Brandy.
The digestion blend the whole trip. Going up. One of my daughters is very prone to getting car sick. And then when we were riding around up in the mountains going up to John's house, there was a lot of curvy roads.
It was a puke fest.
And everybody...
The whole van almost puked.
Everybody in the van was a little...
Everybody said...
Because we just decided to take one vehicle to go up there. So we all rode in the van together. And it was crazy because everybody was feeling a little nauseous. Even Brad. Even Brad was like, whew. But the thing is that I started opening that up and handing it to Carol because Carol's the one that gets car sick. And she, it did not take long before everybody was just kind of like, oh. And that one really saved us this weekend. But back to the... If Brad and I would have smelled it up front... Yeah, it would have been bad.
It would have been bad.
Yeah, Claire didn't even hear it. She was way in the back.
You'd have been like...
Now, as far as body aches, if you take oregano and thyme, put them together, those together work really well. Yeah, the van smelled like peppermint and serenity. Yeah, because what I did was once I gave them the the digestive blend, then I wanted everybody to go to sleep. And so, because we had a good couple-hour ride, so I put Serenity on a couple of them to kind of get them to chill out. Susan's saying not successful. Well, here's the thing. Out of how many people did we have in that van? Only two people. Only two people threw up, and that was because it was already too late. It was way too late. BC truck. My engine was knocking. I put some clary sage in it. My neck's pillow.
Hey, BC, check to see if you're still subbed to us. It's showing that you're not. Please. Because you came in awful late tonight.
Let's see. All right. So basically, guys, what this... Oh, and there was one more. Basil is also an anti-inflammatory and a muscle relaxant. So if you have body aches, basil's really good for that. So that's one that you can put on topically to kind of help with those muscle aches. Kathy, no, the sleep was, I put on topically on some of the children to kind of help them calm down so that they wouldn't, No, Robyn, it's settling the children down. No, actually, guys, our kids,
Alright, cool, BC.
they were fantastic. We had several kids in there, and we had more than one person say that they were very impressed with how well the children were behaved.
Very well behaved.
Yeah. Yeah, and Tammy, this is what we do. We take whatever oil it is that we need, whether it's a protective blend to make sure that we're not getting sick, or if it's something for in the car so that we don't have any kind of motion sickness in the car. We'll take a napkin or a piece of toilet paper, a rag, whatever, and we will put that oil, and the one that we use the most is the digestive blend. We'll take that and put it on there, and then we put it in the air vent, and we turn the fan on in the car. And that helps to kind of spread it around the car, and it kind of just helps everybody. Everybody feels much better with that oil diffusing around. So it works really good. That's definitely one. If you have anybody that gets car sick, it works really, really well. Okay, so one last thing. I just wanted to run through these oils again. So these are kind of the oils that you need to have. And let me do this first real quick. The protective blend has wild orange, clove, cinnamon, rosemary, and eucalyptus. The respiratory blend has laurel, eucalyptus, peppermint, tea tree, melaleuca, whichever you want to call it, lemon, and cardamom. And then the purify, which helps to purify the air, to kill off all the bacteria and stuff floating around in the air, has lemon, lime, fir needle, 2 different types of fir needle oil, pine needle oil, citronella, tea tree, and cilantro. And that one protects more against like environmental threats. And I was just reading Teresa. She says she used to get ambulance sick, would grab the bucket and puke. Yeah, that's never any
Woo! Good one, Palmetto.
Anyway, and so the last thing that I'm going to do is kind of just list off some of the oils that you should consider having during the cold and flu season, as opposed to injecting yourself with some kind of vaccine that they only, I mean, if you know anything about how they create the flu vaccine every year, you have to know that the odds are not in your favor that it's going to work for you each year. So definitely the ones to keep around, melaleuca or tea tree oil, whichever you want to call it, lavender, peppermint, thyme, lemon, eucalyptus, rosemary, and cinnamon. And I didn't really talk about cinnamon too much, but it is also a very powerful stimulant for your immune system. So again, these are all powerful oils. And here's the thing, guys. All of these oils have so many other properties that they're good for. So it's not like you're just getting these and stocking up on these just to keep cold and flu season down. You know, a lot of them work really good for just regular pain. You've got things that help with focus. You know, rosemary and lemon work really good for brain health. Lavender is good for everything. Tea tree is great for any kind of skin issues. Mr. Rain, what is the class about again? So, you know, all of these oils are good to have around. You guys are hurting my feelings. So those are all things to keep in mind. And then when you guys are going back and actually watching it instead of just, you know, participating in the chat, go back and rewatch this and go back and listen to all the oils that I'm recommending, because they really are some good, powerful things to have in your what am I trying to say? My tool belt. So, anyway, that's pretty much what I have to say. I don't know if anybody has any questions. I know. And the great thing about this is that you can go back and watch it later. I mean, it's fun to be able to kind of go back and forth. But, and if you have any other questions, yes, oregano is a good one, Rain. All joking aside, this is one of the big ones, because the thing is that it's so powerful. It'll knock away parasites, any kind of bacteria. I mean, it's definitely one to have. All right, let's see.
I tell you what, though.
Rain is snickering over the sage. I know, right? Everybody's multitasking is what they're saying.
I tell you what. That chat box is like a jungle.
Mm-hmm. Robyn, I will send you all of my money. You send me what I need. Here
it comes.
Wow. There it is.
Mike Johnson.
No, he didn't spell it right.
He didn't?
Zenna.
Zenna.
Yeah, because we said it had to be spelled right.
Zenna, you got it.
And I just sent her some. Yep. She's on top of it.
Yep.
Welcome to the jungle. That's why you're wearing a jungle hat. Okay.
Obviously, you didn't watch the video, Wayne.
That's where the wild things are. Okay, somebody asked me, oh, what's the best one for love?
The love boats.
Big family
making
homestead
another
petroleum.
Palmetto, you do not know how funny that is. I mean, you seriously.
Jason tricked me. He sent me a Skype message right before he said it. or not, I don't think that was intentional, but you don't watch mine either,
That's
Jason.
crap.
You proved that. No, you Wayne knew exactly what it was. You fast forwarded through and you missed part of it.
I didn't miss it. Yeah.
Farmer, meanwhile, you're absolutely right. Lang Lang is really good for that.
The Love Boat.
Pine Meadows Hobby Farm, a modern homestead. No, don't do it, Jason.
What's up, Pine Meadows? Welcome back, brother. Okay, so we did not hit 100, so nobody won that. What was it? The lavender? Wasn't it lavender?
Yes, it was going to be lavender.
It's going to be the big bottles of lavender. So that is still up for grabs.
Yeah, Zena, I'm glad you got them before Thanksgiving. That's awesome. How do you apply it?
In a dungeon.
Air. In the air. Diffuse it in the air or pulse points. The Love Boat. I'm not repeating that, Palmetto.
Love potion number 9.
Not like Jason applies it. Anyway. So if anybody has any other questions, we'll take a few more for our next couple of minutes. Pulse points. Right around in your neck area. We also put stuff like that, like behind the ears is also really good too. Oh, points repulsing.
I know what you're doing, Pine Meadows. You're a braver man than me.
Okay, let's see. Yeah. I invented a hands-free device. Y'all are horrible. Horrible.
So that's the last time we share anything with y'all.
What oil will I receive? Oh, that's a good one. Probably some On Guard, which is the protective blend. Good night, Wayne. Haunches. I was above.
What is good for extreme stress? Crown.
No.
And Coke. You just gotta watch out for the velociraptors.
No, Rebecca, for extreme stress, I always use the grounding blend and the calming blend, which for doTERRA is called Balance and Serenity. I use a little bit of both of those and I diffuse them on a diffuser necklace, and that actually works really well for me. And Palmetto's right too. Range time will work too. But as far as oils go, those both work really well. Let's see. What else? Any other questions? Sure, that's what they're talking about. You're going to change your name to Semi-Large Bear Homestead now that you're so much thinner.
No, I think I'm going to stick with it.
What would you suggest to get kids through final exams for studying? Rosemary is really good for memory, and lemon is good for focus. Those are both really good. Let's see. Empty hammock. That would go. Why do you keep doing that? Magnesium and kombucha. Yeah, that was, let's see. Caffeine for kids. I would not recommend giving caffeine. Yeah, lavender definitely, Rain. Lavender's good. That's the balance. The grounding blend does not have the lavender, but the Serenity does. And that one works really well. It has, see, and that blend works. Lavender, rosemary, peppermint would work good with that. Now, I know that Palmetto, of course, he can't talk right now because he's in timeout, but
he can in 300 seconds.
He was taking lavender and putting it in his beard, and he said that that was helping him be able to rest and go to sleep at night. Joint pain, are we talking inflammation? Because
later, empty hammock.
Lemongrass works really good for that. Lavender, peppermint, a lot of those work really well. Rain is right. Valerian root tincture has helped a lot. We have used that.
Sure does.
Sherry Cherry that's in here made some, and that worked really well. Okay, rosacea. We've actually been working with Brad from Big Family because he has rosacea, and he's been using a soap with tea tree oil in the soap, and it has been doing an awesome job. Depression, Lang-a-Lang is really good for that. Let's see, what are the other questions?
Depression, what can we use for depression?
Yeah, depression, could you substitute basil or rosemary with peppermint or lavender?
Focus on depression.
Yes, you could.
Focus on depression.
I already did. I said that you can use Lang-a-Lang for that one. Lang-a-Lang is really good for mood. And as far as others...
No, I didn't have tacos tonight. Meanwhile, Robyn very rarely gives me tacos.
Well, we're out of deer meat, so if somebody would kill a deer, maybe we could have some tacos.
You got deer meat.
Mm-hmm. Sure we do.
You got elk meat, too.
Oh, okay. Okay, another one that it's saying for depression is wild orange, bergamot, and also the women's blend, which would be it's called Clary Calm as far as with doTERRA. Let's see. Heidi, do you have a video? Face doctor from China for rosacea? No. And I'm going to bed. Alright, good night. BC. Oh.
No, I didn't, Teresa.
See the 8-pointer? No. Alright, let's see. Okay. Cat claws. Because it gives him gas. Somebody kill a deer. Wonder who she's talking about. I thought it was paws. Cat paws? What are they talking about?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Anyway. Ninja wifey burn, the best kind. You gotta talk to Wayne on that. I need to put... Yeah. I think she was being funny, kitty.
I think she was too.
Anyway. Alright.
Simplify, do it, gung ho, gung ho.
Oh, that's
gung
funny.
Ho. What?
Believe it or not, my dermatologist's name was Dr. Skinner. Wonder if tea tree oil and coconut oil would kill what? Yeah, our wind is pretty bad over here too, Sherry. I'm waiting to see what. So we have a little bit of a lag. It's a pill I take for pain.
I'll get him again.
Huh?
I can do it. I'm gonna get him again. Do this on your head.
Mine was Dr. Rash. That's hilarious. Yeah, James is telling the truth. Valerian root actually hypes him up. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, because normally he's a really cool dude.
Calm dude, and he takes valerian root. And...
You want to just be like...
Mm-hmm. There you go. A cat's paw is a tool for pulling nails in awkward places.
Well, guys.
Wait. Demodex mites, which cause rosacea. Probably. The thing that I think helps, when we were talking with Brad, one of the things is vitamin E. When they make their soap, they put vitamin E oil in it, so that helps. And then also the tea tree helps to do that as well. So it was a good mix for him, and it actually works really well.
Harder. Oh, right in there, yeah.
All right. Well, it's about almost 10 after 10, so
it's time for
Mama
us
to go to bed.
to say goodbye to all our friends
Good night,
and family.
Maria.
So,
Fresh made soap. I know. And
I know, right? Right, Felicia?
It smells wonderful.
Okay, y'all. Well, we're going to call it a night. And remember, we have one speed. Go. Winning.
As far as Insomnia Club goes, it's probably going to be on Saturday
nights.
Yep. All right, guys. Good night. And,
we will see you on Saturday.
Good night, semi-large bear.
And we'll have a lot of videos.
Mickey Mouse Club.
We're going to have lots of videos coming up about our trip and stuff like that.
Yes.
So good night, y'all.
Y'all have a good evening.
Good evening, and we will see you on the flip side. Peace out.